Recently, Alexis and I got back from Mexico. We got to visit a Mayan pyramid, Ek Balam, so it was pretty exciting. And here's some footage from our trip.
We're finally here. You should know that before enter the city, the pilgrims must perform abstinence, okay, fasting, right? They have to. They are wandering in the jungle for 7 days. They pierce or pinch different body parts for bloodletting, okay, and then they swim in sinkholes because it's the womb. See, it's like reborn. They need to be clean from inside outside to step inside Ek Balam. Now, we just found two walls. One is 1 mile away, and that says off limits. Lower class stay away outside, and then this is the second wall. It's small. It was a palisade and a half. See, and you can imagine the lines and lines of pilgrims entering the place, leaving offerings. See, in this area, like in the bank, the lines in the bank, like in Simsan, they do it that way. Okay? Now, not chewing gum, no chocolate, no alcohol, no intercourse, no meat for more than 7 days. Only boys. The girls were not allowed, or they were not part of the religious ceremony or life of the Mayans for one simple reason: the periods. Okay? Jewish and Hebrews believe that the ladies are unclean. Mayan says the other way, that you pay enough penance with your periods, so you stay at home, you are safe, okay, and you're sacred. You give life. Now, the one thing is that you must have 20 kids.
Oh.
Okay, lower class must have 20 kids. Okay, the girls. The amount of divorce among the Mayans is not having kids or adultery. Okay, that's what the Mayans punish the most: adultery. See, lower class, we know that we're heterosexuals and monogamous. There are exceptions. For example, I get married, no, my sister became a widow, I have to get married with my sister-in-law.
Oh, right.
Okay, and now we're gonna have 2 wives and 40 kids. Okay, being lower class. Upper class is different. Mayans don't punish who you have intercourse with, but what they punish in the upper class is an excessive sexual behavior. Okay, now let's change the subject because we have kids here, right? Probably they can teach you better, no? Like internet, but anyway. We're gonna leave that kind of lines. You can see cement
Oh, yes.
lines to show you what has been restored and what is original. Okay? Now the arch is like a portal. Okay, dimensional portal. You're leaving secular ground and you're entering sacred ground. Okay, sometimes we know that side effects of doing drugs. See, the floripondio is throw. So we have found some paintings that people threw up before entering the place. Okay, now I have to tell you, the restorations of Ek Balam started in 1994, 96, 98, and 2002. The archaeologist in charge of Ek Balam, Leticia Vargas, she's a very old lady. She was on top of that building where the catch is. She was fixing a crack in a wall, and the whole wall fell apart on top of her, and she was rolling downstairs. Okay, and I'm fine. I'm fine. Okay, and what she found behind that wall is a facade from the tomb, zoomorphic, with animal shape, like a jaguar fangs wide open, no, with the teeth, okay, and an anthropomorphic facade with statues of humans, okay. Then 2 chambers. In the second chamber, she found a tomb of the king of this place, okay. Huge sarcophagus made of limestone. This is only what we have, limestone, okay. He was scaled. Okay, he was placed in fetal position. His face was covered with a mosaic burial mask made of obsidian and jade and turquoise and fancy. Okay, his bones were dated in the long count. Remember, 26,000 years precession. Okay, and we found in his tomb 7,000 pieces of jewels. Believe me, I haven't seen anything like that. Eh? We have 30,094 Mayan cities in Mexico. 30,094 Mayan cities in Mexico in 5 5 states. Okay, and we haven't found such a magnificent facade, well preserved, intact, well attuned, with 7,000 pieces of jewels made of obsidian and stuff. Okay, later on we found in the capstone the name of the king painted in hieroglyphics. Huh? Ukit kan lek tok. Ukit kan lek tok. Ukit kan lek tok. It could be translated as owner of the fire, owner of the 4 flints with 4 squash. The beautiful one. Okay? Now, this is a caste society, matrilineal. It means that you can get married with your cousins from the mother side. It means that queens decide who's going to be the next king. But when you get married with your relatives, you get deformities.
Right.
And deformities were highly appreciated among the Mayans because it means royalty and pure blood. So this king have cleft palate and 4 fingers. Okay, I will show you when we climb.
Here we are, still making our way into the pyramid area. It's pretty fascinating how well all this stuff lasted through such an incredible amount of time. We're really lucky to get to be here, and it was a really cool experience. As we kind of enter here, you'll see we're kind of in the center of all of the stuff. Pretty soon we'll climb up those stairs there. In the background, you can kind of see the highest point in this area. Over there, we'll climb up there, and that's kind of the top of the pyramid. And then as we kind of pan over here to the right, you'll be able to see an area where they did like ceremonies. And there's also an observatory over there where they looked at the stars, which is pretty cool too.
Or layers we have, and then we count how many number of layers, and we multiply that by 52 years, and we can date the buildings by layers, like onion layers. Okay, that one, 25 layers. Really old. Right? That is called Acropolis. Acropolis means different heights. At the solstices, through the gap of the twin buildings, a solar rays pass and illuminate a rock that is underneath that thatch where those tourists are. Okay? And that rock is a cartouche with gigantic monolithic stone piece carved with the king taking the crown. Okay? And Ukit Kanletok in a cartouche, round cartouche, there, passing the power to rule to his son. Okay? So illuminates the sun, illuminates the stela, the rock, and it looks like sacredness. Okay? It's an optical illusion. That's it. Okay? Now, I have to say something here naughty and disgusting. Can I go for?
Sure. Yeah.
Definitely. And the kid is like, yeah, go. The priest is dancing after performing fasting and abstinence 7 days in that room. He was proof for the cover arch. Okay, he's dancing right there. Everybody down there is looking at him. He cut himself with obsidian dagger and he's dancing in his own blood. And there is a moment of the ritual. Obviously, he's hunting the deer, right? Pull aside his loincloth and expose his penis to the audience down there. Okay, make some room, I'm gonna show you how.
What's that word? Poquito?
Poquito, yeah! Zoom in the camera! And then grab the stingray spine, you know, the stingrays and the tail, they have a spine, and pierce his penis 3 times. See? The name of that ritual in Mayan language is called ouch. No, seriously. Pierce his penis 3 times and then take bark, paper, stripes, pass it to the hole of his penis and continue dancing and bleeding. Take it out, burn it in incense. We have found some incense burners all over this structure, right? And that moment, boom, the music stops. Open their theater with musicians, pentatonic music, 5 tones, primitive, drums, whistles, no strings. Stop. Okay, he became a living god. Then the mask, wooden mask that you're gonna see in the village, he wear it. has a God impersonator mask, and he says, I'm a living God. I'm the only thing that the universe needs. Me. I'm gonna bring the water. Okay? Or whatever the people need. See? So that happens around 300 years before and after Christ that we know. Okay? So that's what happens pretty much in this structure. But also, it has round platforms. That means that it's an observatory, astronomical observatory.
We had a great tour guide. We were really fortunate. Our tour guide was actually an archaeologist, and he does tours for fun, kind of in between archaeological digs and things, so we were quite fortunate to have him. So hope you guys enjoy some of the information he's able to give us while we were there. So this is the main pyramid here. You can see in the middle there's like that balcony kind of overhanging everything. Yeah, there it is. So in the next clip, that's where we're going to be up there before we ascend all the way to the top. It was really amazing to see all the detail in this area, how everything was carved out of stone and still preserved.
Okay? And that's what Mayan kings love to say. I am the tree of life. I am the axis of the planet, right? I am the wormhole, right? And that's what we have here. First of all, down there we have water from the sinkholes. Okay? You're gonna see fish down there, the frets. You see the mask in the corner? Yes. Okay, that's the underworld. See? Okay. For example, you have letter K in your name. It's a fish that's wealth. Everything associated with fresh water, it means wealth. Water lilies, right? Fish, catfish, etc. We have underground rivers from rain. Okay? So the king dies, goes to the womb, to the underworld, but at the same time he reborn as the tree of life. And the spiders you can see carved, see, represent the branches of the tree of life. See, so the king, you can see the king seated on top of the nose of the jaguar mouth, on top of a turtle. We lost the head, but in his belt he's wearing a solar mask made of obsidian. I will show you replicas on the village. No, intact. This is intact. We just clean it. We use vinegar to clean this, the stucco. No, it was white. It was white, and the reason is because sometimes the sun is that way, illuminates and make it look golden, shiny. See? So we have the king seated on top. We lost the head. But to the right side, in the corner, there are two statues. They look like angels with wings. Right. Those are not wings and those are not angels. We don't have that. It's the headdress, but not wear it properly. Like when you turn off back your caps, they're not ruling, so they cannot wear properly the headdress. When they rule, they can wear it, so that's why it looks like wings.
So
Okay.
that's just the headdress like resting on my back.
Perfect. And the first one, okay, it has 4 fingers. And the one in the corner is a midget. Okay? And can you see the inner door jump in the second doorway, the frescoes? Yes. And you see the wider person painted there? That's the king. Okay? You should know that every 20 Mayans, they have blue eyes. Okay? And the king's 6 feet tall.
Wow.
And you know, they're coming from Mongolia.
Oh, right.
That's the reason. And it's a caste society, so they were selecting the best DNA. So upper class looks completely different than lower class. And what they're doing are drinking chocolate. We found a pot with the recipe of chocolate. How does the king used to drink it?
Cool.
Eh? One human life costs 1,000 cocoa beans.
Wow.
So chocolate was expensive, human beings were cheap. Okay?
So you'll have to excuse the shaky footage for this next part. We did a walk around the pyramid, and I wanted to give you guys some sped up clip footage. That way you could see how big this pyramid was. It was pretty incredible. Also, during our trip in Mexico, we got to visit a cenote, which if you haven't seen one of those or don't know what it is, we'll have a video up soon, so you'll get to see that. It's pretty awesome. We also got to visit a Mayan village as well, and that was really neat to see. It's crazy. A lot of people, when you think about Mayans, you think about this ancient civilization that just kind of went out of existence, but that's not the case. There's over 6 million still living in thousands of Mayan villages, so it's pretty neat. Although sad that they're quite impoverished today, it is cool to see things so old still living and surviving. But yeah, be on the lookout for an upcoming video with some content of the village and the cenote and some footage from the hotel too. We stayed in a really cool hotel, the Grand Mayan near Playa del Carmen. So as we're kind of walking out of the pyramids here, we'll get a chance to see the ball court, which is really cool. It's interesting, the game's really popular. A lot of people know about the famous Mayan game that they played, hitting the ball with their hips, trying to get it through the hoop. But we actually don't know that much about the game. Even we don't have a complete set of the rules or anything like that. There have been a lot of guesses when it comes to rules and how they played it, but we actually don't know that much about it. But it was really important in their culture. Children as young as 5 years old would start training to be these ball players, and that's what they would do their entire lives. Yeah, it was really interesting. It's actually how they selected breeding, like the upper class. The women would, that's basically who the daughters of the upper class would sleep with and procreate, was with the winners of these games. So a guy would win, and then basically he would have sex for a week to pass on his offspring, and then he would get sacrificed because they would want to sacrifice the best. So pretty crazy life. And right here is where the sun would shine through to kind of illuminate that altar and create the optical illusion that our tour guide was talking about earlier. And next up, they found a plaque in the city that has its name. That's why we know it's called Ek Balam. So here's a neat picture of that. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video and what we were able to share with you from our trip. Stay tuned and hopefully we'll get some more videos up for you guys.